Now we attended personal finance investment subject. Unit 1, we studied how to make your income statement and balance sheet. So current planning. Income statement and balance sheet was actually the past planning. Past planning means what has happened in last 1 year. You make income statement and balance sheet and try to find out, did you have sufficient savings and surplus or not? And what is your financial position at the end of the year? So last 1 year's statements how to make, we studied in Unit 1. Then Unit 2 we studied tax planning. At the end of the year, how can you do the tax planning? How can you save the amount of tax through various deductions available in income tax? And then in Unit 2 we studied next 1 year's planning, cash budgeting. The flow of chapters I am explaining. Unit 1 you studied last 1 year's performance through income statement and balance sheet. Unit 2 you studied next 1 year's planning through cash budgeting. So within next 1 year, so that you don't have troubles in making the payment, you make cash budget in advance. There is a short-term planning of next 12 months and you can do it monthly or quarterly basis. And now in Unit 3 we talk about long-term planning. So cash budget was last 1 year's planning. Remove all this excess fees fast. So Unit 3 now will study long-term planning. Long-term planning means it is very necessary whenever you start earning the money to take care of your family members of accidental circumstances, unforeseen circumstances that may suddenly come across. So insurance means we'll talk about all the types of insurance. Life insurance also, because main earning member of the family if it is lost, then the family will have a lot of trouble to carry on the living later on. So we'll talk about life insurance also over here, and we will also talk about other insurances related to personal life. So in general insurance we'll talk about vehicle insurance, we'll talk about medical insurance. So mainly these 3 types of insurance we'll study. And then retirement planning means the earlier you start about the retirement planning, it's better. So the day you start earning, you should always save some amount for the kitty of retirement planning. Because especially in India it's very necessary. It's not like foreign countries where you go to USA or Canada, what happens? Even if you're unemployed in between, then the government compensates you 50% of your past remuneration. So if you're having a job anywhere, you're earning $4,000 per month, and suddenly the company winds up, you become unemployed for the next 3 months, then until you get the next employment, you get 50% of $4,000 without doing anything, $2,000 from the government, until you find a new job. In India, if you're unemployed, maybe still you have to pay to the government, but government is not going to pay to you. So here it becomes very necessary for planning your future. Also in foreign countries, again after retirement also government takes care. So when you're paying tax to the government, is ensured that after retirement government supports you in complete sense. Government hospitals are better than private in foreign countries, and their hospital expenses etc. all free, all of the government. So after retirement age you don't have to bear any expenses. But in India it's not like that. So you need to do all that planning after retirement in advance. So if suppose you estimate, just a simple example I'll give you, like I also do retirement planning, that after 55, 65 I stop earning, then how to manage my remaining life so that I don't want to be dependent on my children. If they start earning, I don't want to ask money or beg money from them. I should have my sufficient savings to carry on my remaining part of the life. So how do I do the retirement planning? I estimate first of all the inflation level. Inflation level means I am telling you the practical process. So if you start suppose the planning today, okay, today means suppose let us say you start instead of me, and at the age of 25 you start earning, and you expect to retire at the age of 55, means you have 30 years to save the money. Okay, 25 age you start earning and 55 you plan to retire, so you have 30 years to earn and save for retirement purpose. Now first of all you have to see presently what standard of living you are maintaining. You would never like your standard of living to go down even if you stop earning. So as per the present standard of living, if you estimate that monthly you need an expense of 1 lakh rupees, just rough example I am telling you, that monthly 1 lakh rupees to have a decent living, which includes petrol, electricity bill, telephone bill, other necessaries of the life, luxury, once in a month or twice in a month, restaurant, movies, etc. All the expenses you count, and for the lavish living you want 1 lakh rupees per month, just for example. Then you would count the inflation level. Inflation level, let us say 6% is going on, suppose. Then you would count that 1 lakh rupees right now. After 30 years, at 6% inflation level would be how much? Okay, rough calculation I am telling you. 1 lakh rupees right now, 6% inflation level after 30 years would be how much? You cannot do it on calculator because it's a compound rate of interest. So after 1 year it will become 1,06,000 and 1,06,000 6%. Okay, we have the book in between the present value of money. But just for example, after 30 years that amounts to, let us say, 6 to 7 lakh rupees. Means right now what you are spending 1 lakh. When you retire, monthly you are required to spend 6 lakhs rupees to buy the same commodities, to have the same standard of living. Right now you may feel 6 lakhs, I mean Ambani's or other one. It's not like that. After 30 years, you'll feel 6 lakhs is normal only. Like today 1 lakh is normal. 30 years ago 1 lakh was rich person, means we used to call people that he's a lakpati. Now anyone you say lakpati, you look in, he's a poor one. He's only lakpati. So the times change so fast. So at that time maybe 6 lakhs per month will be required to have a decent standard of living. Now 6 lakhs if you require per month, just rough calculation. Suppose you have 5% rate of interest, because rate of interest keeps on going down only. So at that time, anywhere you invest the money, you cannot invest in shares at that point of time. It's very risky, and heart attack chances are also more. So at that time, you should invest in safe securities only. So in safe securities, suppose you expect to earn 5% per annum. Then to earn 6 lakhs into 12 months, 72 lakhs. That is rounded out to 50 lakhs suppose. To earn 50 lakhs at the rate of 5% per annum, you must have investment of how much? 25 crores. No, not 25 crores, sorry, 10 crores. So 10 crores, 5% per annum will come to 50 lakhs rupees per annum. Means you need to save how much amount by the age of 55? 10 crore rupees. Now you will do reverse calculations. That if you need 10 crore after 55 years, 30 years after from right now, then every month what amount should be saved? To have 10 crores after 30 years, and suppose you expect that you invest in mutual funds, etc., where you are presently easily earning 15 to 18% interest. So at 15% interest, 18% the random rate of interest, you can take the minimum one, so that your amount is more, not less. How much every month should you save after 30 years to get 10 crore rupees? It looks like impossible, how can we save 10 crores? But when you work it out, you'll find it's very easily possible. Maybe monthly you have to save some 10 to 15,000 rupees only. And every month if you save 10 to 15,000 rupees after 30 years, it will amount to a huge sum of 10 crore rupees. This is if you start planning from the age of 25, immediately when you start earning. You'll find that the figures will go drastically big as your age advances. By chance, instead of 25, you start the same planning at the age of 30. Then maybe instead of 10,000 rupees, you have to save 30,000 rupees per month. Same planning you start at the age of 35, maybe you have to save 70 to 80,000 per month. Then it becomes impossible. But earlier you start planning about your retirement, it will be very easy. This is what we are going to study in this. Retirement planning, and so practical questions will be there as I discussed right now to find out what is the future value after so many years, how much amount can be accumulated, every month how much should be saved, every year how much should be saved. Such kind of practical questions will be. Okay. 4 basic types of questions are there. Put your pens down, understand it first, then you'll write it. First, present value of single amount. Present value of single amount means what? Suppose after 10 years, you want 10 lakh rupees. That is a future value. After 10 years, you want 10 lakh rupees. That is a future value. And you expect to earn 12% rate of interest every year, compound rate of interest. How much should you deposit today? Fixed amount, one time, not every year. How much should you deposit today? Single amount. That's why I'm talking about present value of single amount. So today how much should you deposit? So that it becomes 10 lakhs after 10 years at the rate of 12% interest. How to find that? Present value will be equal to future value, which is 10 lakhs, into interest factor at the rate of 12% and 10 years. Is everyone clear with this? For example, page number 76. We find 2 tables given to you on page number 76. First one is written present value interest factor for annuity. Annuity means every year. Annuity means annually. So annuity tables will be used when we have questions where every year the deposits are to be made. And what is the second table? Present value Here nothing is mentioned means it is of single amount. So mention over there in bracket single amount. Now this table we are going to see, table 2. For solving these questions we will see table 2. So like the example I gave you, 10%, can you see 12% rate of interest and 10 years. So they intersect at 0.322. So if you need 10 lakh rupees after 10 years, then 10 lakhs into 0.322, 3,22,000 you have to deposit right now. You deposit right now 3,22,000 at the rate of 12%. After 10 years, it will become 10 lakh rupees. Did everyone of you understand? So when such questions are asked, we will be using this present value of single amount. Any confusions? Next type of question is future value of single amount. Future value of single amount. Vice versa. Vice versa means right now I have 10 lakh rupees. Idle, remaining idle. I want to invest it for 10 years. And expected rate of interest is 12%. I want to know this 10 lakhs will become what amount after 10 years. Here I need to find future value and of single amount. Right now I am depositing how much? 10 lakh rupees. So how will you find that future value of a single amount? Future value is equal to present value into interest factor k percent and n years. But here for interest factor you will see which table? Table 3, page 77. Do you see future value interest factor right on there single amount? So there if you see 12% and 10 years, what amount do you find? 3.106. So if you deposit 10 lakh rupees today, then after 10 years at 12% interest it will become 10 lakhs into 3.106, 31 lakh 6,000. If you deposit 10 lakhs today at 12% interest, after 10 years that 10 lakh rupees will become 31 lakh and 6,000. Able to understand this? Any confusion? Then we have present value of annuity questions. As I said, what do you mean by annuity? Annual amount. Same concept we'll use for monthly and quarterly amount also. What changes to be made when we discuss in detail we will see. But present value of annuity means present value will be equal to A. Instead of FV and PV, A is annual amount. Okay, A stands for annual amount into interest factor at the rate of k percent and n years. Means suppose the question asks this, every year you deposit 20,000 rupees. Every year you invest 20,000 rupees at the rate of 12% for 20 years. How much amount will you accumulate after 20 years or after 10 years? You will have maximum 15 years only. So therefore in the table you will find 15 years are only given. In case of an exam more than 15 years come, then they will give you that information. Okay. So suppose after 15 years. So every year you deposit 20,000. Rate of interest is 10% and you want to know how much amount will it accumulate after 20 years. So here you will see, not after 20 years, sorry. Present value of annuity means what is its today's value. If every year amount is deposited, generally today's value may be ascertainable in case of loans. Because loan you borrow today. So today you borrow a loan of 1 crore rupees and you want to know how much will be the annual installment coming for this loan. So your present value is known and what is to be obtained is annual amount. Okay, so 1 crore of loan is borrowed, rate of interest is 9% by the bank and 20 years installment are to be paid. We want to know how much will be the every year installment that we have to pay. Here present value we will take 1 crore and interest factor we will see like in the first table, present value of an annuity 9% and 15 years. What does it come to? 8.061. So every year what installment you have to pay? 1 crore divided by 8.06. Is everyone of you clear with this? And last kind of question are future value of annuity. This question can be used for both the things. Either you have to find present value and annual amount is given, or you have to find annual amount and present value is given. Either of the two will be given and one will be asked. And future value of annuity means future value is equal to A into interest factor k percent and n years. Now this one is mainly for retirement planning. Every year what amount should be saved so that after 30 years, 20 years, 15 years, so much amount is accumulated. Or else, every year you are saving 20,000 and how much amount will it accumulate after 15 years, then that can also be. Is everyone clear with it? To differentiate between single amount and annuity amount, we can write it as PV small a, present value of annuity. And same way FV and small a, future value of annuity is equal to annual amount into interest factor at the rate of K% and N years. Is everyone of you clear with this? So these four concepts will be used throughout the chapter. It is very simple for you people because tables are directly given. Otherwise, as far as I remember, when we were in BCom, we did not have this topic only. But when we studied this topic, when I was in 12th, in mathematics subject, first chapter, compound interest and annuity. What you do with the help of tables, in 2-3 lines your answer comes. We used to do with the help of logarithm tables. So actual formula, how is this obtained? Like for example, you simply wrote future values, present value, interest factor, K% N years. We used to have the formula. Future value equals to present value principal amount P into 1 plus K raised to the power N. And then 1 plus K raised to the power N means if you have 1.12 raised to the power 20, then calculators are also not allowed. So we had to use logarithm for that. 1.12 raised to the power 20 means 20 into log of 1.12. That is how we used to do. So all these questions, what you are studying in a very simple manner at TY/BCom level, we studied in 12th standard level at far more complicated level using the formulas. So basically, you are directly understanding these things, and I even know how these table values are. How the values inside the table are obtained can also be derived with the formula. And I've done that also in employees benefit chapter. We did not have the table, so directly we used to calculate those values. Okay. So happy learning, do it fast. Small things, so do it fast. After completing this, write down the abbreviations also at the end. PV is present value, and that is present value of single amount. FV is future value of single amount. PVA is present value of annuity. FVA is future value of annuity. A is annual amount. K is rate of interest. Silence, and N is number of years. The only thing you have to be careful about is reading and understanding the question properly, which information is given and what is asked. Who are writing it still, raise your hand. Look at page number 74. There is a lot of theory in this chapter, but if you see on page 75, like you can see question 1A and B, 6 and 12 marks, theory is asked. And in option, same exam, question 2A, 1, 2, 3, 4. You can see 4 plus 3, 7 plus 3, 10. 13 marks practical questions are there, and only one theory of 5 marks is there, basic features of term plan and whole life plan. So at least 10 marks practical question you can expect, and they all are very easy in scoring. And if you see the next exam, luckily all the 3 marks practical questions, full 18 marks, and in option theory of 18 marks. So that way in exams it can come. Look at page 74, question number 1. And now it will be of 15 marks only because whatever theory is there generally will be in question 1. The paper pattern is different now. Earlier there were 18 and 17 marks question. But now in exams question 1 is compulsory of 10 marks from all the 4 units. And rest 15 marks question from each of them. Now look at question 1 and understand properly what information is given and what is asked. Mr. Shah has been given 2 options by his employer. First, an annual pension of rupees 1 lakh annually for the next 15 years. Means he has already retired, and on retirement, employer has given him 2 options. Annual pension 1 lakh comes means it's a question of annuity. Now we need to decide, is it a question of present value of annuity or future value? So he has been given 2 options. One is annual pension of 1 lakh annuity for next 15 years. 1 lakh you will get every year for the next 15 years. Or second, lump sum amount of 5 lakhs. You take 5 lakhs and over. Then every year you will not get 1 lakh. If the rate of interest is 10% per annum, which is better for him? Now there are 2 ways of solving this. See, comparison has to be done at the same point of time. So either both the figures you compare after 15 years, or both the options figures you compare today. So either you can solve the complete question by finding future value, or you can solve the complete question by finding present value. Now why present value is better understand it. If we both the options compare future value, then every year you are going to get, so A is 1 lakh. Rate of interest 10%. Number of years 15 years. So we can find out that every year 1 lakh rupees which is invested at the rate of 10% for 15 years. After 15 years it will become how much future value of annuity? Second option. Single amount you get 5 lakhs today. Single amount you get 5 lakhs today, that is present value. At 10% for 15 years. What will be the value after 15 years? Wherever the future value is more, will be selected. This is one way of solving it. Second way, you find the present value. So every year you are going to get 1 lakh and you are going to invest at the rate of 10% for 15 years. What is its today's value? And second option is so good, 5 lakhs is already today's value, you don't have to find anything. That's why present value is better. You can solve both the ways. Either in both the options you find future value, compare which one is higher, that option will be selected. Or in both the options you find present value. And basically in both the options you find present value means you are finding option 1 only. In option 2 already you are getting today how much? 5 lakhs, it's already the present value. So we'll go with the present value option. Okay, taking annuities formula, we'll find out if we get 1 lakh every year for the next 15 years at the rate of 10%, then what is its today's value? Directly compare it with 5 lakhs. If it is more than 5 lakhs, go for 1 lakh option. If it is less than 5 lakhs, then go with 5 lakhs option. Is everyone clear with this? Anyone having any doubt in this, raise your hand. So, write down. Option A. Annual amount A is equal to 1 lakh. N is equal to 15 years. A is equal to 10%. Now, present value of annuity is option what we are selecting. Present value of annuity equals to A into interest factor at the rate of K% and N years. There is a formula we have applied. Any doubts up till here? Now, what is A annual amount? 1 lakh into interest factor. What is K rate of interest? 10% and N number of years? 15 years. Any doubt in this? Now, look at page 76 onwards. First of all, tell me, will you see table 1, 2, 3 or 4? Which table will you see for this? 1, because we are applying which formula? Present value of annuity. Table 1 is present value interest factor for an annuity. Do you find that? So see in table 1, 10% and 15 years, at which interest factor do they intersect? 7.606. So interest factor of 10% for 15 years is 7.606. For your understanding, write in bracket from table 1, so that when you revise, you don't keep on looking at all the 4 tables. There is 7.606 in between the table. You should be able to understand we have taken it from table. So 1 lakh into 7.606, 7 lakh 60,600. Means if you are getting 1 lakh every year for the next 15 years, what is its today's value? 7 lakh 60,600. In option B, what is the today's value? 5 lakhs, which is a better option? A. So in D directly, the present value is 5 lakhs. We don't have to find it. Okay, in D option directly the present value is 5 lakhs. We don't have to find it. So write down. Thus, Mr. Shah should opt for option A, that is annual pension of rupees 1 lakh. Annual pension of rupees 1 lakh for next 15 years since its present value is more. Any confusion with this? Now, look at question 12. I am discussing it and you will solve it on your own. Question number 12. At the end of his retirement, Mr. Sharma has been given a choice between 2 alternatives. First one, annual pension of rupees 2 lakh as long as he lives. As long as he lives means you don't have to do it infinitely, it's given at the end. Then Mr. Sharma expects to live for next 15 years. And as I said to you, majority questions maximum would be 15 only, that's why in the table up to 15 is included. So 2 lakhs is what? What is 2 lakhs? A, annual amount. N is 15 years, rate is also 15%. And second option, lump sum payment of rupees 15 lakhs, that is the present value. So same way you have to solve it. First you have to find for 2 lakhs what will be the present value, and then you compare it with 15 lakhs. Whichever is higher will be selected. Start solving. All are completed. So option 2 is better here. Yes. How much do you get? 11 lakh 69,400. Anyone not able to get 11,69,400? Raise your hand. All are able to get that. And option 2, it's already 15 lakhs, so that is a better option. Okay. Question, page 75, question 2, sub question 2 is your homework. Look at page 75, question 2A, sub question 2, that is your homework. Mr. Deep has been given 2 options by his employer at the time of his retirement. A option, annual pension of rupees 2 lakhs annually for the next 15 years. B option, lump sum payment of 15 lakhs. It is not similar. The rate is 9%. And what you saw right now, the rate was 15%. So which option is better for him? Lower rate of interest means maybe option A is also better. So this is one homework, and question 3A sub question 1 is your homework. Look at it. Question 3A sub question 1. Mr. A has been given two options by his employer. Option 1, an annual pension of rupees 5 lakhs annually for next 15 years. So A is 5 lakhs and 15 years is the number of years period. And B, second option, lump sum payment of rupees 25 lakhs. If the interest rate is 10%, which option should Mr. A select? For 3 marks, it has been asked in both the years. Do you understand this? Now, look at question number 2. Read it. Understand the things properly first. Mr. Soni at present of 55 years. He is presently of 45 years. Mr. Soni is at present of 45 years. He deposits. He deposits rupees 40,000 every year. Underline every year. Himalaya, what is 40,000? A, mark it as A, annual amount. In a bank deposit which pays 10% interest per annum, mark it as K. How much can he withdraw? Make it. At the age of 60 years when he will retire. At the age of 60 years when he will retire means what is the number of years? 15. Presently he is 45 years of age. And how much can he withdraw after 60 years means after 15 more years. So n is equal to 15. Now tell me, what do we have to find in this question? Out of these 4. What do we have to find in this question? He'll accumulate what amount at the age of 60 years means? Future value of annuity. Annually you are saving and depositing 40,000. Rate of interest is 10%. And how much will you get after 15 years? 60 years of age means future value of annuity is what is asked. Is everyone able to understand and interpret the question? So, write down. So, earlier what we used formula was present value of annuity, and now we are going to which formula? Future value of annuity. A is equal to 40,000, then K is equal to 10%, and N is equal to 15 years. Are you okay with it? So, future value of annuity is what is asked. FPA is equal to A into interest factor at the rate of K% and N years. Now, what is the value of A here? 40,000. Then, interest factor at the rate of 10% and 15 years. Now, which table will you see for this? Here we'll see table 4. Because future value of annuity is asked. See at page 77, table 4. 10% and 15 years, 31.772. Do you find it, everyone? Yes. So 40,000 into 31.772 in bracket from table 4. 12 lakh 880. This is what it will accumulate. 40,000 if you save every year after 15 years, it will become 12 lakh 70,800. Is everyone clear with this? So, write down this. Mr. Soni can withdraw rupees 12,70,880 at the age of 60 years. Now, I am discussing question 4 and 8. And you solve it on your own. Be attentive. Look at question 4 first of all. A couple wants to accumulate a retirement of fund of 1 crore in 15 years. What is this 1 crore? Every year 1 crore. A couple wants to accumulate a retirement fund of 1 crore in 15 years. What is 1 crore? Future value. Okay, single amount annuity we don't right now. No, right now. But 1 crore is a future value. 1 crore is a value after 15 years. Any doubt in this? So, mark it as future value, BFP. Now, if they set aside rupees 4 lakh unlike every year, what is that? A. At the end of year, which earns an interest rate of 9% per annum on their investment. So 9% is A. And N is 15 years. Question is, will they reach this goal? So what we have to do is, we have to apply which formula? Future value of annuity. Annuity annual amount you will take 4 lakhs. Rate of interest you will take 9%. Number of years? 15 years. And what do you get future value of annuity? If it comes to more than 1 crore, they reach this goal. They want to accumulate 1 crore. If you get less than 1 crore, then they are not able to reach the Able to understand this? So you have to find future value of annuity and compare it with 1 crore to find out whether they'll reach the goal or not. Any confusion in this? Also look at question 8, then we'll start solving. Mr. Wala has decided to deposit rupees 30,000 and then per year, what is that? A annual amount in your public provident fund account, your means his, for 15 years. That is it. What will be the accumulated amount in his PPF account at the end of 15 years? Means what is again asked? What will be the accumulated amount at the end of 15 years means future value of annuity. If the rate of interest is 9%. Did you understand this? So solve both the questions right now. Who all have done with question 4? What answer do you get? 1 crore 17 lakh 44,400. So do they reach the goal or not? That statement you'll write at the end. Write the statement at the end. Thus couple will reach the goal. Thus couple will reach the goal if they deposit 4 lakhs every year. Question 8 all are completed. What answer? 880 830. So here also statement thus Mr. Wala will accumulate rupees 8,80,830 in PPF account after 15 years. Now your homework, look at page 75, question 2, sub question 3. Look at that. Miss Krishna has decided to deposit 70,000 every year. What is that? A. In her public provident fund account for 15 years, that is N. Now what is asked? What will be the accumulated amount in her PPF account at the end of 15 years if the rate is 9%? What is asked? Future value of annuity. And our K is to be taken as 9%. Question 3, sub question 2. Mark it as homework. Mr. B is present of 45 years. She deposits, Mrs. B is at present of 45 years. She deposits 80,000 every year in a bank, which pays 10% interest per annum. What is 80,000? A. K is 10%. How much can she withdraw at the age of 60 years when she will retire? So again, N is 15 years and future value is asked. Also question 3A, sub question 6. A couple wants to accumulate a retirement fund of rupees 10 lakhs in 15 years. What is 10 lakhs? Future value. If they set aside rupees 40,000 every year, that is A. At the end of the year, which earns an annual interest of 9% per annum, will they reach the goal? You'll find the future value, and if it comes more than 10 lakhs, they reach the goal. Otherwise